Welcome again to another exciting episode of D&D. I'm your host for today, Sharon, double S, Miss Newton, whichever you want to refer me to. I'll respond to a big yes. Again, thank you so much for always joining us. Thank you for leaving comments. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking the videos. The conversation continues on all our social media platforms. That's Kelele TV everywhere. The hashtag is D&D, Dada next door. Listen, guys, I am not a politician, but please, if we are going for the mandamanos, think thrice or even 5 times. Why? What's the motive? I'm not taking any political sides, but I'm just saying when you go out to the streets, because this is something that affects us as youths, what is taking you to the streets? And if it's a cause, well and good. If it's an individual, I don't know, but evaluate. Anyway, that's besides the point. This week, a lot has happened. We have seen people breaking up. We have seen exes trying to reunite or rather helping each other out. Tracy, has your ex ever bought you a car? You will respond. We will come back to that. But anyway, thank you so much. Again, welcome to D&D. And before I continue, I'll wish to introduce the original host, the OG, who today is taking a half leave. Kindly, beautiful friend, introduce yourself.
Hi there. I hope you all know me by now, but my name is Tracy Kajuju, and I'm so excited to be on this side of the show. Normally I'm on the other side, but it's good also to view things from another perspective. So I'll be your guest today, and stick around to find out what we have in store for you.
So Amber and the father to the child, the unborn child, are reportedly separated. Which, as an online in-law, once I start investing my time and energy, you are obliged to keep me updated. So thank you for keeping me updated so that we know how we'll move forward as online in-laws. But now, this is where the gist comes in. Jamal, the ex, who we saw a whole lot of drama upon drama, 10 folds of drama, dropped at the comment section, said, since I'll just quote from my own words, naona umerudi soko, naomba kupa kazi. And I was like, yeah, sure, talk to my management. I thought it will end there. No. Jamal sent Amber a Range Rover. I just want to know, all these other shenanigans, it's fine. Munatoa wapi our ex? Their exes. Are you seeing what other exes are doing to their exes? They are sending them not just cars, not just any other car, Range Rovers. Tracy, if you have an ex like that, please don't lose them.
But I already lost them?
No, keep close ties. Don't burn bridges. I don't know if that's a bridge or a...
I don't trust these people, to be honest. I think they're playing mind games with us. Like, they're trying to create drama, attention for no reason. I honestly don't trust all those shenanigans going on there. So for now, I'm just going to say, you do you, boo.
I was scrolling through the internet, I'm an avid user of the internet, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and I came across a post by the beautiful heiress, Annalisa, and she was addressing men, and particularly a group of men that she called unserious. And these men are the ones that are active on socials, yes. And she said, the serious men are not on social media. And serious men are on social media. It's like, okay, interesting line of thought. I mean, we do have freedom of expression, so I don't know which of you people on social media that made Annalisa sit down, evaluate, and decide men on socials are unserious. If you think that ended there, no. Someone decided to respond. Let me tell you, our very own KRG, the Don, decided, listen, you will not come for us because we never lack responses. And allow me to read exactly the response, because Mans did not mince his words. He came to finish. Alikuja kumaliza. yote. This is what he said. Ungesema you prefer men who ain't on social media. Sisi tuko serious hadi tuko na watoto na tuko social media 24/7.
Hallelujah.
Have you come across any Karaji's TikTok videos with the kids? I enjoy them. Like, he has such an amazing relationship with his kids. If you thought that ended there, no, this is where he came guns blazing. The boys you're attracted to can't even impregnate you. Ndio hawayuko serious.
That was a bit personal.
Tracy, I'm done. Take it over because
Well, I disagree with her sentiments, but of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But saying that people who are not on social media are not serious men, or people who are on social media are not serious men, that is not a fact. It's not true, because these days social media is just one of those places where you can do a lot with social media. It's a part of the modern world. It's not like it's a bad thing or it's a good thing. It's just part of what we are. It's like saying, people who hang out at this place are bad, or people who, Yeah, and people use social media for various uses. People use it for entertainment, for business, for learning, for growing. A lot of people would not have made it to where they are if it wasn't for social media. But I think whatever she was trying to put across was probably influenced by her personal experience, which caused her to make that generalized comment. I do actually think that you can do whatever you want on social media. You can be serious, you can be unserious, you can use it for whatever purpose you want. I mean, that's just you.
Raha jipe mwenyewe.
Or maybe there's this narrative where people say you see a guy with 22 followers and you're like, yeah, that's the one.
Let me just look back and see all the serious men who have actually made something of social media. And I will not even go international. Let me give an example with like the roaming chef, Dennis Ombachi. He's making a living off social media. I'm not saying, and I also don't understand if she meant by social media is 24/7, you're on your phone, blah, blah, blah. But even if you're on your phone and you're on the socials, it could be you're doing something constructive.
Yeah, and if you are a social media influencer, you have to be there. That's your job. You have to always be there.
I mean, Madam Annalisa, kamati imekataa. Larry had an interview with the singer, the mega singer Davido on CNN, and it was nice. They had a good conversation. Davido called Larry Oga, like praising him. But Kenyans, you do us dirty. You think we'll forget? No. We don't forget. We drink soya. Hatuwezi sahau. Kenyans went back and checked the first interview Larry had with Davido. And it was not an interview that will excite many, because many said that he was very disrespectful of him, the way he answered, the way he walked out. The entire interview was it was a sword to the eye. But right now, it's different platforms. Larry's on another level right now. He's not the small Kenyan journalist. He's now like on a big platform. And people are saying, listen, don't treat somebody vibaya, or don't treat somebody ish just because of wherever they are right now, because you never know where you're going to meet them in the next 2-3 years. And it made a lot of sense to me, especially for those who are in a position of power or you're in a position of influence. I come today and I get to meet Tracy. Tracy's a nice songstress celebrity. Hi Tracy, my name is Sharon. I run a startup YouTube channel called Kele TV, a show called D&D. And Tracy's like, what? What's that? And then maybe I ask you a question and you're like, I don't feel like answering that. I don't want to answer that. And if you continue pestering me, I'm going to walk out. And you walk out. I mean, you have your own reasons as to why you walked out. But I believe things can be done in a civil way or in a civic manner. But now remember, you might think or Tracy doesn't need Sharon. But then 2, 5, 10 years later, things change.
Tables turn.
I'm in a bigger platform. Maybe the channel grew, and now you need my influence. You need my platform to maybe push for something. But remember, impressions always last. And I'll just be remembering how Tracy was treated me like not a human and whatnot. But basically, this story was just to bring out, or rather to just have the moral of the story is be good to people. If it's an issue, have a way of addressing it. Of course, we are humans, we'll have feelings. There are sometimes you'll feel like you want to throw arms and whatnot, but how we address things matters, because you don't know. Things change. Today Sharon might be the president. And then 2 years down the line, I have gone down to being an MCA. I don't know.
And the funny thing about the human mind is that we tend to hold on to negative experiences much more than we hold on to the positive experiences. That's why if you treat somebody badly, they are gonna remember it for the rest of their lives.
Facts.
Rest assured,
Facts.
good deeds will always slide away.
Facts.
I don't know why we are wired that way, but once you treat somebody badly, that's it. They are going to live with that for the rest of their life. Yes, of course, they may forgive you, they may move on, but they will
It's
find
something they have at the back of them.
it will always be there. If they meet you or if they encounter a similar situation, you'll hear somebody saying, hey, by the way, this happened to me. It never ever goes away.
It's the first time Sharon hosting a podcast on camera.
Yay!
So today we're talking about our fast, and I just have 1, 2, 3 things I'd like us to unpack with regards to our fast. So Tracy, with regards to D&D, has D&D brought up anything? Like, has D&D maybe given you a fast for something?
Yeah. D&D is the first show I've actually ever hosted in my life. So when I first got the news that I was going to be hosting this show, of course I was scared, because I was like, how now? I've never done something like that before. I've been in front of the camera before through acting, but then acting and hosting are different. Acting, you have a script, you already know what to say. You already know you're kind of cued by another person. This person says this and this person say this. And when it comes to facial expressions, I have no problem with that. But then hosting is a totally different experience, because you have to arrange your thoughts. You have to have a lot of content, a lot of information. You have to be composed. You cannot act when you're hosting, because this is a real thing. So it was a new experience for me, but I appreciate it because it's given me a lot of confidence. One of the most memorable things I did in my life was act in a film when I was back in high school. Not many people know that, but yeah, I'm in a film somewhere.
She said it here first.
So it was one of the best experiences of my life. I used to act stage plays, and then film is a totally different thing. If you know these things, or if you are into film and production, you would know there's a difference between stage acting and film acting. The way you express yourself, the way you talk, the way everything, it's just different. So I got the opportunity to act in a film, and that film got me nominated for Kalasha Awards. Yeah, okay.
I didn't know that too.
Yeah.
His original facial expression. Whoa, Tracy, look at you.
So that is one of the things I'm most proud of in my life. It didn't make me famous. I thought that once you become a nominee for Kalasha Awards, man, you've made it in life, but I'm still here.
For me, if I look back and say like my most memorable fast, I think I'll stitch it to my career, because my career has offered me a huge pathway to meeting people I never thought I'd meet ever in my life. If you will have told me today, hey, Shaz, one day you'll interview Pharmacy J, I'd be like, huh? Me? Where? Why? Why should I? For what reason? Shaz, one day you will go and interview the CS for health, the pharmacist for health, Mutahi Kagwe. I'll laugh, because me, how? But I think my most memorable is the interviews I've had with very impactful men and women in this country and also across the continent. it was such a delight. And I remember one of the people that I was so starstruck interviewing was Kidum. I couldn't contain myself. I was just smiling like, oh my God, he's here. He's in front of me. I can't do this. But now, the one that I think I'll remember till I think I'm in my old age is having an interview with Lady Justice Njoki Ndungu. It was memorable because my family name is Ndongo. So anytime we used to talk about judges, and anytime the name Njoki Ndongo was brought up, people used to ask me, are you guys related? I'm like, no, it's just a name. But now this time around, I just sat there and was so starstruck. I was looking at her like, I remember, I think at one point in that interview, I did swallow my words. But the good thing is, when I'm doing interviews, majority of the time, I'm not seen or heard, so they don't know how much of a struggle sometimes it is when I'm starstruck. But yeah, it's been a fast that I'm enjoying.
I was really excited to go to high school because I always felt like, girls in high school, they've kind of got it all. They're mature in a way. And I heard that in high school, there's plenty of freedom. Not what I expected though. So I was really excited to go to high school. And I was just happy because I was like, we get to go to funkies and all those things. I used to hear from older kids in our neighborhood or in our village talking about funkies and all those things. And I was like, I really need to get there very fast. And so, yeah, it was kind of a nice feeling there, but everything just went, everything just turned around. It went, I don't know the word for it, very quickly because I went to high school with a lot of people that I was with the same primary school because the two schools were related. We used to call that school Karuka Fence because it was just across the fence. So tulikuja wengi from the same primary school. We kind of formed cliques and people were just like, how dare you come and just start forming cliques and all that. And then when I got into Form 1, immediately I became the prefect. So that was a bit unexpected, or okay, maybe it was kind of expected.
You never know.
Because I used to be very expressive. I don't know if I am still very expressive, but I used to be very expressive and
We have stories we can't share on camera, but she's very expressive.
So I ended up becoming the prefect, and then I ended up realizing that the high school I went to, I don't know if it's all schools that were like that, but there was so many rules. And for me being a free spirit, it was so hard for me to catch up with all these insane rules. It felt really insane for me. I made sure that I went to literally each and every funky.
Even went for the religious ones, like the CU, CA.
Yes. Maybe I missed a few for CU because there was a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm. And you went for CA?
I used to go for, was it called YCS?
Yes, Young Catholic Association.
Yeah, I used to go YCS funkies and I was not a Catholic.
Of course you are not a Catholic, Tracy. Wow.
So yeah, I went to all funkies except for the funkies that I was banned to go.
You are banned?
Sorry for another day.
Hey, Tracy has a lot to tell us. Yeah. For me, I think my high school first impression would be a 360. I got to school like on a Tuesday, and by Friday I had all my socks brand new za bata kwanza, zile refu zetu tulikuwa tunakunja hivi, aki mtu akaamua nioshe, nilisikia vibaya. I didn't go to boarding school, so I'm like,
no wonder.
Yes, let's respect each other's boundaries, unless it's my sister. And if my sister wants anything from me, we had created a culture. Of course, she won't tell me she's borrowing it, but she'll inform me she has it on. But now I come to high school and I think boundaries are everywhere. Then someone's at jamani hata si ungeiba tu moja zote. And another thing is culture shock. Culture shock. Wait. Let me tell you, classism is everywhere. Kuna wenye kama si tulipelekwa high school na matatu, tukachukua taxi, katufikisha. Alafu kuna wenye waliletwa high school na the entire family with an entourage. I was like, why? What's the occasion? Okay, I didn't understand, but now I could see why. I mean, it's a big transition. You've cleared 8 years and now you're moving into another level. Surely unakuja na matatu ya 2NK kuingia form 1. Surely.
Mtoto ni wa kwanza kwenda form 1 in the entire village.
Okay.
So that's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
But even in uni, there are people during their graduation back then, they used to come with buses.
No, it's for uni. For graduation is a whole different level. Surely form 1 2NK mumehaya 2NK kuleta mtoto form 1. Funkies, I did go to Funkies because I loved the walks. Because it was Red Cross freedom from hunger walk.
Sisi hatukuwa na hizo.
na scout.
We used to have scout though. I was a member.
Freedom from hunger walk.
Girl guides.
Rangers.
Yeah, rangers.
There was the walks, the Red Cross. So before you go to the walk, you have to changisha. You're given a pro forma. You have to go changisha. My friend, I was dedicated. Nilikuwa simama nje ya supermarket. Watu wakitoka na church naambia sasa niko hii shule tunachangisha Red Cross tusaidie watu wenye wanagonjeka alafu hawana chakula. Unaweza nichangia? And because people have loose change, they'll give you 50
10
No, they were generous. I was not taking coins. 50, 100. It was a trick because those who used to go to those walks ni wenye wako na pesa nyingi, like umechangisha pesa mingi utapata chance. I mean it's a club, so una imagine shule kama population ni 700 na hiyo club iko na 300 na funky basi inabeba watu 53. Surely amwezi trips hizo zote to your walk, so wenye wamechangisha nyingi ndio wanaenda na official. Sasa mimi form 1 na form 2 siko official, so I had to go all out. So I really enjoyed funkies. Punishment. The first time nililima Tracy na panga blunt. That was my first punishment. And to even make it even juicier, it was on my birthday.
Wow.
I celebrated my 16th birthday nikilima punishment. Moving forward, I mean, we've had encounters first as teenagers, first as adults, but I'll just wish to know, do you have a first encounter or a first that left you dropping a wow in an astonishing way? Or a rather moment? It could be someone, it could be a moment, but it was that, yeah, wow. In TikTok language, side eye.
Dealing with a boss who was toxic. I met someone that until date, I think about and I'm like, why? What is the reason? Why are you like this?
What was the reason?
What was the reason? Okay, so yeah, I've had to deal with a very, very, very toxic boss in my line of work. I still sit down sometimes and process it. He traumatized me, if I am to say. Yeah, it's still something that up to date, I don't understand why it happened or why he behaved the way he behaved. I'm still sure he still behaves like that. I don't know. But yeah, he created an environment for me that I felt like he made me feel or think that Kenyan employers are bad. And during that time, I had a friend who was also going through something similar. So I was like, is this how Kenyan employers act? Or I was just unlucky? I don't know. But yeah, for me, that was a wow.
I was privileged to be introduced to the field as early as at age 20, where I became a production assistant. The experience was amazing. But now when I got it was a small space, so there wasn't much happening. I wasn't interacting with a lot of people. But now when I got to do like my official internship, my friend, it was my first time. Whatever I had heard people saying that, interns wanafanyiwa ABCD, ukienda interns utakuwa T-girl, unaserve. I felt like it was a one-time experience, but I felt that in full capacity. It's something I don't want to unpack further, but I'll say like my first day of my internship was not the best, or rather, it did not end like being the best day of my life. So I'll never forget that. And I mean, we move. It's 5.5 years, baby.
So I approached this man. He was Mzungu. So
do I know where this will end?
So I approached him and I'm like, hi, my name is Tracy. And then a certain babe came to me, like she was behind the man. I didn't know they were together at first because the man was walking ahead and the babe was behind. So she came it's like she wants to attack me.
Oh.
Like she came furious at me and then she pulled the man away and was like, I don't know if he said baby ama honey or something like that. Eti babe chungana na hawa wasichana.
Oh.
So I was like, what is wrong with me? Did I do something wrong? Did I say anything wrong? Do I look like a thief? And that is not even the worst or the most mean thing somebody has said to me during those sales job. That is just an example. And I don't know why people are like this out there. I was so young and I was so naive, I think, at that point. So I started wondering, is there something wrong with me? I'm not dirty, of course. I am wearing a branded t-shirt. I'm just trying to sell something. Why would somebody do something like that? Anyway, perhaps she thought I wanted to hit on her man. I don't know.
Shit.
But yeah, that job really gave me... It was one of the stepping stones towards me getting tough skin, or they call it thick skin, because a lot of people kept on giving negative comments, being rude for no reason. And at first it used to get to me, but then I realized it's not even about me. If this person is rude, they're just going to be rude to whoever.
It's a them problem.
It's a them problem, yeah. So it really taught me to have thick skin, and I'm grateful for that experience.
Tracy, tell us about your first kiss. I know you've had one. I know you have had one.
What if I haven't yet?
We said this is a safe space.
Is it?
It's a safe space. We do not judge.
Okay.
And we do not lie.
Okay.
We might lie.
A little
1,
bit.
2, 3 things. But majority of the times we do not lie.
Okay, so for my first kiss, I'll just say it was chaotic. And it's sad that it's so memorable because it was very chaotic. But that's all I can comment. But when it comes to my first solid relationship, or rather, I am a keeper. If I make a good friend, I hold on to them. But sometimes it's also stabbed me in the back because there are some people you should not hold on to. And I think I realized that way too late, actually in my adulthood. I am one of those people who I want to keep my friends close. I want, I'll do everything.
Close knit.
Yeah, I'll do everything to make sure that our friendship keeps going. But growing up, I have had to unlearn that.
I feel like I haven't been as lucky to have a lot of friends. Again, maybe this could be as a result of we really moved a lot from one town to another, from one school. I think in primary, I changed schools for 2 or 3 times, if not 4. So that was also a factor. And I remember, but I'll highlight my first best friend. I was really young. I think I was 4 or 5, but I've never forgotten her. Her name is Njoki. I don't even know. For the last, I think, 20-something years, we've not reconnected. But I always remember we were super close. We'd play doll together, play house, and then they moved to Meru, and then for us, we moved to Kisumu. And that's how we lost contact. Relationship, your first relationship, in a nutshell, as we come to a close.
Okay, so in high school, I never got into a relationship. Yeah, like most of my peers.
In Korean language, way.
Okay, because I don't know the reason why, but I remember I had boys hitting on me. I would get letters, but I don't think anyone really stole my heart.
Tracy. Someone sits down, takes their time to and I know tulikuwa in the same ulichorewa calligraphy.
Yes, all that happened, but I don't think I did have a crush, but I realized soon enough that I didn't like him that much.
Wasichana.
Yes, I had a crush momentarily, but yeah, in high school I didn't have a boyfriend. Whether you like to believe it or not, I didn't. I had boys who were trying to hit on me and all that, but
me and the subscribers choose not to believe.
I did not have a boyfriend in high school. Trust you me. Yeah, but yeah, I got a few letters here and there, and then I would do the whole marking thing, underlining, correcting spelling. You didn't do that?
Hey, Tracy. Why?
I don't know. It was fun.
What?
Sorry, if you wrote me a letter in high school, I probably marked it.
To all that wrote Tracy letters, I'm sending you love and light. It must have been tough, right? Imagine.
And I never used to reply.
Okay, replying is a whole lot of work. Also, I don't remember like sitting down and drafting an entire leaflet to reply. What I used to do, I used to piggyback on other people's letters. So, you're writing a letter to this school? Okay, let me get a sticky note, put on the message of my friend or whoever I want to talk to. So, Tracy...
Big up.
Yeah, big up. So, this the whole, like, the entire... You remember those fancy leaflets we used to have? And then I put like a sticky note. Hi, please pass this to Brayo or Kevo or... No. When I was in high school, Wayne was such a fancy name. I don't know why. So tell Wayne from Form 4B that tupatane closing.
Well, so yeah, high school never did any dating. So my first solid relationship was in uni. I spent my first year, first sem, wondering why I'm single, because all my friends used to have boyfriends.
Peer pressure.
I have peer pressure mostly. Yeah, and I got into a relationship, I think, towards the end of second semester. It was great.
You had fun?
I had a lot of fun. Yeah, it was good. Lasted for, I think, about 2 years.
Oh.
Yes.
So you're not, after that, you were never lonely for like the next 2 years in uni?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, but out here after uni, I think...
Nikunoma,
my friend.
Nikunoma. The streets are dry.
They are very dry. You know, sometimes you just sit and wonder, where did all the men go to? Or maybe it's the population issue, the fact that women are more than men, because
Tracy, don't blame population. Tracy, thou shalt not blame population.
Where are the men? Where are they?
When was the last time you went out? Like, I'm not saying like clubbing or you just went out to have a good time. You see, she's processing.
A month ago.
When was it? After work, do you like try to go, maybe indulge into an activity, maybe pass by somewhere, get a...
No, who has the time? Who has the energy?
It's population. Population nose diving. As a result, Tracy is yet to find someone that soothes her heart, if that is English. I'm sorry, did I cut you short?
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I think I'll consider my first like serious where I understood what a relationship was. I don't know if I understood, but it was when I was 17. I was still in high school, and it started off well. I'll say it started off well, but in my perspective, I don't know if he shares the same views as me, but to some extent, I feel like we were bad influences to each other to some extent, because sitaki kujanika hapa, but yes, it was somewhere in the relationship, it ended up not being the best influence for me, because I started indulging in things that I wouldn't say they were best influence to me.
What about this thing of your tastes changing? Did you ever experience that? Because for me, I feel like right now I look back at my primary school crush and I'm like, why?
Really? No, I think, did I ever have a type? Yes, I had the stereotypical type.
Bad boy.
Tall, dark, and handsome, with a sprinkle of bad boyness. Where, and then I think after the relationship that ended when I was just like somewhere in my first year of uni, that I had a different perspective of what, because I know I'm stuttering, but I'm just trying to put my thoughts together. Ideally, I was like, I want a tall guy who's dark, who's handsome, you know. I still love tall men. That one I have not dropped. But again, even if I'm looking at the physique, then it was more of the physique. Right now, physique is not like number one. It's do you click? You don't have to be machi. He loves dogs. I love dogs. He likes go-karting. I likes go-karting. No, it doesn't have to be that. It could be he enjoys tennis and I enjoy playing chess. But we do have a meeting ground. So those are some of the things I picked. When it comes now to being an adult, it's been an experience. I don't want to reveal much, but it's been an experience. My first serious one, it started out well. Katikati, it turned out kind of chaotic. Chaotic because of the traits we were doing. Again, this is from my perspective. If he ever comes across this video, I stand corrected. My past, let me refer to.
You are still young anyway, so.
Young and naive. But yeah, I mean, this has been such an interesting topic for me, like just discussing our first. We may not have gone in depth, but I'm so happy. Tracy, just in a nutshell, how do you feel about the topic? You know, I might be the only one who was very much into it, and you're like, aki huyu msichana, next time sitamwachia hiyo kiti.
No, it's a good topic. It's a good choice. Actually, it has given me some sense of nostalgia. Because now I am thinking, that was my first this was my first this. And for the positive things that I have experienced, like looking back, it's giving me that kind of joy that I felt in that moment or during that time. And also, if it's a bitter experience or a painful experience, I am still grateful for it because it has somehow shaped me to the person that I am today. I'm on Instagram, Kajuju Kajumbe. I'm also on TikTok. I started recently.
She's very active, extremely
active. Yeah, Kajuju Tracy on TikTok. Twitter, I'm not really that active. And YouTube, I have a YouTube channel.
Thank you so much for joining us. Kindly share with us your first as well on the comment section. Your first encounter in a professional space, your first relationship. It could be platonic, it could be romantic. Your first most memorable in life. Your first high school experience. I don't know, but kindly just interact with us. Share with us on our social media pages. That's Kelele TV everywhere. And thank you so much for joining us through all these conversations. And we look forward to having even better conversations. It may not be with me, but Tracy is always around. Thank you so much for joining. I was your host, Double S one time. Miss Newton, Sharon. Bye-bye. I'm not as active on social, so I won't drop mine for today. Adios.
Adios.